Cosmo's eyes are sparkling stars, black mask glowing in the night. He herds the snowflakes round like sheep across the sky. One whistle and he's off again. This border collie flies. Jingle dog, barking all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride with Cosmo on his sleigh. Hey, jingle dog, barking all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on Christmas Eve. Hooray! A flash of black and white, a blur across the snow. He's turning on a dime out there, the best dog you'll ever know. His tail's a wagging whip, his ears are perked up high. Cosmo's freedom ride tonight lights up the Christmas sky. Jingle dog, barking all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride with Cosmo leading the sleigh. Hey, jingle dog, barking joy always. Merry Christmas, free dog, lead us all the way. Jingle dog, Cosmo's here to stay. Black and white rocket on the snow, best Christmas ever. Hooray!
Greetings, Mavericks and new viewers. Tonight, direct and live from the Maverick News Network World Studios. This is Maverick News with Rick Walker.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Maverick News Channel. Hello, Maverick family. I see lots of familiar names in the chat tonight. Welcome back, everybody, on this Boxing Day 2025. An icy one around here. What a mess it is outside. I hope the weather is treating you better wherever you're watching from around the world tonight. Old St. Nick came, left lots of loot for the little ones, and now there was a song for the youngins right there. Jingle Dog from our Maverick 2025 Christmas album. And thank you to those who donated. I think I got it out to everybody. I was still sending copies out to a couple of people overnight, but thank you very much for your support. And tonight, a special broadcast. We are going to focus exclusively tonight. We're not going to talk about Trump and wishing his people, all the people out there, a Merry Christmas, especially the scumbags that he says it might be your last. We're not going to mention that on the program because we have Brigitte Belton, the mother of the Convoy. She has a new book out. It's called Consequences Inside the Freedom Convoy. We're going to, well, we have this first up exclusive interview with Brigitte on the other side of our first break tonight. And she's going to share with us the inside dope on how the Freedom Convoy got started, why it got started, maybe give us a little insight into some of the, the dirt, the infighting even, and why some people got help, other people didn't. So yeah, it's, I've read the book many, many times, and I'll tell you why I read the book when we come back on the other side of this.
Maverick News. Fighting for freedom.
Okay, let's bring Brigitte on. Here she is. We're having a little technical trouble there. That's why we were a little bit late getting the audio working, but we made it. We're here. Hello, Brigitte. Welcome back.
Hi, Rick. Thank you so much for having me. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can. And I think the people out in Cyberland can hear you tonight too. And it's exciting to have you here tonight because this is a big deal, a really, really big deal. And I think it's something that will help get us all closer to the truth, which is what we're really very much about here at Maverick News. You've got a new book out, so I'm just going to throw it over to you and just tell us, why did you write the book?
I wrote the book for the truth. The truth has to come out. If we look at political movements in the past, sometimes we don't always get the truth. We get what people want us to hear. We support those that they promote to us, and it's not the first time. I actually talk about it in Consequences inside the Freedom Convoy, because we all assume that what we're told and what's in our history books is actually 100% fact, when actually we are being fed the narrative that they want us to know and they want us to support. And they actually do things like promoting a certain person because of their genetic makeup, because of who they look like, or what they think they will bring to their movement. So it's not the first time in history this has happened. It actually happens quite often. And the people that you think are the leaders of something are just those that were put into place. And so and it's political. The people that are put into place are put there for political reasons. So we actually talk about that. So I'm going to tell you, if you purchase the book, if you take a look, definitely dig into all the attachments that are there, because those present the full story. So you can't bypass them and just read the book. I've done it, so don't do it. You have to read everything that I have put in there, all the research, all the things that I back myself up with, because gosh forbid somebody's going to tell me that I'm not backing up what I'm saying. So please read it all. Enjoy it. Take your time. It's a really nice little book because it's part of a series. So this is one that you can pick up, you can put down, you can, have on the subway, if you're in the GTA or the GO train, if you're on the TTC, or if you're on the OTC, I think they call it, or the little train in Ottawa. They didn't have that when I lived there, that little train that always breaks down. Bring it. I mean, if it breaks down, you can read it, right? So, I mean, it's just a nice little book. And it's really, it's based on my perspective and what happened. But I feel it's everybody's story. I feel it's the story of so many Canadians. Am I wrong? Now you've told them you've read it, so I'm glad you did.
Yeah,
Thank
and the
you.
reason I read it is because, just for full transparency, I did proofread the book for Brigitte. And I just want to make everybody know that I did that. But, I had to be very careful as I was going through there looking for, typos or grammar or spelling things, that I made sure that any changes that I made just reflected what Bridgette's story was, not input from me editorially at all, nothing like that. It strictly was like proofreading, which is a craft in itself, right? So,
and we were going back and forth going, do we want the Chicago style or the Canadian? Like, what are we doing here? And I'm like, I don't know. This is the first time I wrote a book. Like, what do you want from me? I don't know, Rick, you choose. And it was funny because I spell very American. I find like words like color, there's no U. Where's the U come from? Like, I just don't know. Check. Where's the QU? Like, tell me, like, QU, where's that come from? So I did reach out to Rick, and he didn't want to do it at first. He was like, I'm bipartisan. And I'm like, look, just help. I trust you. And Rick didn't let me down. So thank you so much. And I didn't put you in the special thank yous because we weren't sure if
Yeah.
we were going to say anything. But thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for all the hard work that you did.
No, oh, thank you for writing the book, because what you just talked about there is so true. What you went through, your personal experiences on the road, people will still be able to relate to that very much, because you're conveying your personal experiences leading up to the convoy during the pandemic, what you went through on the road, and people had their own perspective. They had their own challenges during lockdowns, but everyone will relate to what you are talking about, and that's what the first portion of this book really largely deals with. Can you give us some of, without giving away the whole book, but give us some of the things that you went to, the struggles on the road? Because for truckers, people don't realize how tough it was.
Well, back then in 2020, I was still, I guess, a fertile feminine woman, you could say. I'm trying to say this nicely. We're on the air. And I wasn't allowed into a bathroom. So what do? I mean, like, yeah, I've dealt with that most of my adult life and my teenage years, but it was like, well, I don't want that in my truck. And so we literally went underneath our trailers to go to the bathroom and to take care of our feminine needs. And it was like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Like, this is so degrading. We couldn't take showers because we were cross-border truckers. But wouldn't be being clean, wouldn't that help stop the virus? Right? So, I mean, you get to meet some of my most amazing friends through the book who really helped me, because it was a struggle, and it was a struggle for them. And you get to meet lots of little towns in Canada, in Ontario. I talk about a lot of them. There's more to come in the second book. There'll be more little small towns, Canadian and American.
Yeah.
But I mean, this book is really just the story of what everybody went through. And I think it may also bridge the gap between those that called us selfish and, wanted to murder us. I mean, I actually include a story of a politician who suggested we be shot. So, like I said, read everything. Go to the links I've included. I mean, it's horrific what we went through, and it's all there, right? I mean, there's a few small things I forgot maybe or didn't mention, but I think the story itself is solid. And we talk about those that were forgotten while we were trying to save one life. We talk about just bad pharmaceutical advertising. We talk about people who in the past had made videos and sold books on how to survive a pandemic. So everything in this book is all the things we learn. And then we talk about psychology as well, regarding the pandemic and the things that the government was overlooking or not paying attention to, even after it was reported to them. So that's all in there. It's all in there. And I just, and I do flip around. So if you've ever seen one of those movies where you're like, holy crap, did we go backwards or forwards? I'm kind of like that. And I apologize to those that need a straight vision and a straight road. Mine's like a rocky curve. But if you need clarification, just go to the website and send me an email.
Okay. And normally I leave this sort of thing right till the end, but how can people find the book? Or I know you have a website up where
I
people
do.
can go get more information about this stuff. And so how do people find you?
So you can go to my website, which is inside dash maverickfc.com, right?
Yep.
And that's my website. There's even a song that I've made for the book. And I made that with Donna AI and my best friend, Darla Ferguson. We created that together with Donna AI, and it actually sounds pretty good. I
Okay.
was impressed. Um, I was on a weekend kind of, reset on the truck, and her and I are fooling around in her garage with Donna AI, and we came up with this song. So we did a really great job. But I'm kind of biased, so I'm sorry, guys. Um, and my best friend Darla from Texas, she's just amazing. She's a great soul, and we've been friends since we met in 2015 at Schneider. So we've been all around and come back again. We're best of friends. Um, but yeah, so you can find it there. You can go to Amazon. Um, I've heard some people are having a hard time on Amazon. You have to apparently type my name in, which is very tough for most of you.
Hmm.
So my name is not easy to spell. So I'm not sure if I'm on the screen, if you've got my name on the screen, but it's Brigitte.
There it is
There
right
it
there.
is.
Yep.
There it is. And it is there. It is for sale. And yeah, enjoy the story, like, because it is our story, and it is exactly how we got started and why we got started.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we're doing very, very well. um I was ecstatic. I was talking with my granddaughter about the book and the soon release on Christmas Eve, and my daughter-in-law went and looked on Kindle, and she goes, "It's here." And I'm like, "What?" And there
Yeah.
was a little bit of screaming, some jumping, some shaking, maybe, like, yeah. And yeah, there was some excitement because nobody told me. uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
we just
So
found out by accident. So there was a lot of excitement. And then for the next 24, 48 hours, we were like just ecstatic. So I was trying to let everybody know. And in the US, within that 48 hours, we have made top new release. So thank you to all those who've already purchased. Thank you so much. In Canada, we are number 10 in Canadian history, I believe. Um, and we're doing fairly well. We're like number 35 and a few others, which beats some other Convoy books. So that's really good. We're
wow.
doing fantastic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's amazing. And right out of the gate too. So
out of the gate. Yes.
yeah.
And there's a special notation that I should actually state that I'm not sure how many people have heard of Alex Novak. But he is a political historian, I guess, writes books. And I just happened to come across him when I first started this journey. And he helped with the development. And I said to him right off the bat, I said, "Look, is this trash? Like, should I just scrap it?" And he was like, "No, you have a story. This is history. Keep going." And he helped to develop the book from a 66-page book. Because I was like, "Well, what else should I say? Like, they know what happened." He goes, "No, not everybody does." So, he
Mhm.
helped develop the story. So I have just met some most amazing people along the way. And I thank you for your help. Alex, Tellwell Publishing has been amazing, amazing. They've given me tons of help. And of course you have to pay them. So, but yes, they have been 100% right there. So if you have a book in you and you think you can write a book, do it. Because if I can, you can.
Yeah, and it is history. Knowlton Nash, former anchor on the National when I was much younger. All you younglings out there, you won't remember Knowlton Nash, but I met him once, and he wrote a book called History on the Run, and that's exactly what this is, like literally, because you were on the run, not from the law or anything at the time anyway, not until later. But you're out
We'll
there,
get to that.
making runs with the truck and making history, and
Yeah.
that's literally what happened, because you were really the spark that ignited what was the most consequential and one of the largest, if not the largest, protest in Canadian history, the Freedom Convoy.
Right. There was no Tamara Leach in the beginning. She was way late. There
Yeah.
was no Pat King. He was later. There was no James Bowder. He was later. Chris is not even number 2. So, I mean, he's up there, but he's not number 2.
Mhm.
So you'll find out about all of that. Well, yeah, you'll find out about that. And more. And you'll learn about the history. You'll learn about Canadian history.
Mhm.
There's Canadian history in there. There's so much in the book. And I back up everything we were talking about and all the ideas that we had as individuals at the time, and why we shouldn't be forced to be vaccinated.
Mhm.
And I back it all up. So if you have a loved one that's for years said, you anti-vaxxers, show them the book, buy them the book, send them the book, bridge the gap, heal those relationships, because I think this book might do it.
Yeah. Justin Trudeau, you have pretty harsh words for him. Also for Doug Ford. Do you want to elaborate on that? And, for I think many people are already starting to block out those bad, painful memories of that time. But that's the other reason I think it's important, this book, because it does record history. It will remind us all, and even future generations. It's going to be a record for people to refer back to as to why this happened. And, I've always laid a lot of the blame right at the feet of Justin Trudeau for making the decisions that he made, the rhetoric that he used during the convoy, during the pandemic and the lockdowns, the way he described and vilified certain groups of people. Do you want to just speak to that? Because you do address it in the book.
I do. Look, Justin Trudeau was at the helm. This falls on him. It does. And if you look back at his videos prior, he's like, I work for everyone, not just those that elect me. And then all of a sudden, well, you're unvaccinated. I don't work for you.
Mhm.
Right? That's not fair, because I still pay him, whether I have voted for him or not. My taxes still go to his salary. They all said we were in this together, but I don't remember their family struggling.
Mhm.
I remember their families actually making bank, right? Like, if you looked at the sunshine list for Doug Ford during that time, just before the lockdowns, he got an 89% raise. 89. Yeah, maybe 83. Let's just say 80% somewhere, in that group, because who knows, maybe he'll sue me. It wouldn't be the only guy, right?
That's true.
There's still ongoing cruise stuff going on. So, but I mean, so he's getting all these bonuses, he's getting added pay, and then he expects those who couldn't work to live off $2,000 a month. How generous. And I totally mean that sarcastically, okay? Just in case anybody's watching. I mean that sarcastically. I mean, had we all been on the same playing field, that might have been a different story. People that refused to get vaccinated were told they couldn't get benefits that they paid.
Right.
Right?
Yes, that's right.
So
Yeah.
we talk about all of this, and it's such a fascinating story. I read it. And I've read it a million times. They're asking me to edit again. And I'm like, oh my God, I got to read my own stuff again. Like, this must be the book I've read. Like, I don't think I've read so much, as many books as I've reread my manuscript. Right. So, but yeah. And I do get a bit of repetitive in some places. I'm sorry.
No,
but it was important.
no, don't apologize. Because and I know this because I too have read the book many, 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 many times. Um, I really have. It is genuine, right? Because it is Bridget's voice. And this was the other thing. When I was proofreading it, I had to make sure that I didn't change that voice because your personality comes through. And when you're proofreading something like that, it's not my job wasn't to sanitize this thing. It was to make sure that Bridget's personality came through with the phrasing that she uses in her everyday language. So it's not about making it 100% grammatically correct all the way through. It's about preserving the tone. And that's what you get in the book. You're getting Bridget, and that's what makes it real. And that's how you know too that you're really kind of getting closer to the truth with this thing. This is heartfelt, it's personal, and you can relate to it. It's genuine.
Somebody asked me how I felt now that it was released because, my friends have been with me through this, and it's been quite the process. It's been over a year of editing, and it's been over a year. I thought, oh, the book's done. Cool. Now we'll put it out. And somebody's like, you're not putting that out, are you? And I'm like, why? What's wrong with it? So it was like, oh, okay. I remember them sending me a list of semicolons and colons and this and that. And I was like, I haven't been in school in 30 years.
Like,
what do I do
what
with
am I
this?
going to do with that? Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I was like, this is not like texting my buddy and don't worry about the spelling error.
Yeah. And they give you publishing guidelines, right? Like it's like, because every publisher has a slightly different requirements and standards. So yeah,
like I couldn't say, I hate Chris Barber. No, I couldn't say that. So and I don't, just in case everyone's watching, I don't hate him. He's not my favorite person, but I don't hate him. Okay. And I'm actually glad he got to keep his truck, but it was one thing that I could, poke fun at for him because he pokes fun at me. So if you don't understand that, sorry. But we do that thing to each other. It's a trucker thing, actually. So not at all.
It must. I don't know how you feel about it really, because I've never really asked you, but you have Tamara Litch, you have Chris Barber, and you have Pat King. These guys are all out there in front. Pat never really received any support from the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms, which promised legal support for all the truckers.
They promised us all.
Yes. And most got nothing.
That's right. Unless you did what they said, or, you signed whatever agreement. I don't know everybody's story. I know a few of the stories, and, some of the guys weren't comfortable with what they wanted. So, they didn't use them and they hired their own attorneys. I feel bad for Pat. I tried to help him on a number of occasions when he was first in jail. I got a hold with tried to get a hold of an Ottawa lawyer. We communicated back and forth by email, but I couldn't get that lawyer's name to Pat for whatever reason. I couldn't get that communication to him. So I felt bad because I knew this lawyer was a good top-notch lawyer in Ottawa, had a lot of high-profile cases, and probably could have helped Pat. But then again, he didn't have funding. There was no money for him, right? So, I felt bad. Like, what do we do? So I reached out to a couple of organizations. They promised to help. We did Zoom calls, and I was very protective of Pat because he was on so many conditions that I wouldn't let anybody into these Zoom meetings unless they were not on his conditions, right? So, but I tried, and that didn't work out for Pat either. So I didn't know what else I could do for him other than maybe a fundraiser, but I don't have time for that. Like I work 70 hours a week. I had my own book. I'm trying to, after Convoy, it was really important for me to reconnect with my husband. After so much time, we had not connected during that time. And afterwards, my husband was gone for months at a time. I couldn't see him. because he was trucking and I was home trying to save our life in our truck.
Yeah.
So it was a very difficult time. So I've spent a lot of time this year trying to make sure that I could reconnect with my husband and put some of the other convoy stuff on the back burner. But this project he knew meant a lot to me. And yeah, so he would step away and go, "Hey, you have a day, go." And then the rest of the time is mine.
Yeah.
So he's a Superman.
So Tamara and Chris Barber primarily, they've been thrust forward as the the figureheads of the convoy. The portrayed really as the people who started it and led this thing. And not true.
It's not true. If you go back and look at even the videos, Chris specifically says he's just the loudmouth. He's not the leader. Call Brigitte in Ontario.
Mhm.
So, I mean, like, these people were politically propped up. I mean, if you look at Ezra Levant, he did Tamara's book. You know who did my book? Me.
Mhm.
It was me. Tom's book, Tom raised funds to do his book. You know who paid for my book? Me.
Mhm.
I did. And the reason I did that was because I didn't want anyone to say, I'm living off donations, I'm living off this. This was my work. Every keystroke is mine, and every correction is with my team. So,
Mhm.
yeah, this is mine.
It is.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Why does it matter who started the convoy?
History?
Mhm.
Does history not matter? I mean, we might as well say then, hey, it was Stephen Harper who beat up on Canadian citizens during the Freedom Convoy. Is that accurate?
Mhm.
No. So does it matter? Does that matter who beat up on Canadians? Then yeah, history matters.
Yeah. Accuracy,
Otherwise,
truth.
we are doomed to repeat it.
Right. Exactly right. And especially when the whole thing is just immersed in politics and people have
Yeah.
trouble seeing through the narratives to really understand what is going on. And that's also why your book is so important, because it helps to peel off those layers of the onion.
It's like marketing. I was in marketing for a very long time. And it was plant a seed, plant it 3 times. Once they've seen it the third time, they'll start to acknowledge the message. Doesn't mean they get the message, they'll start to acknowledge the message. So keep repeating, right?
Mhm.
That's marketing. And that's what they did for Tamara and Chris, right? So they continued to sow the seed. I mean, it went from Tamara was, a helper, to Tamara was a spark, to Tamara started the convoy at the I think it was in France. She had said that at the Global Women's Award that she started the convoy on January 14th. That is a complete and utter lie. I couldn't believe she said that. I mean, that has to be the most blatant lie that she has told so far to date. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's important because, well, it's how can I put this? The it just seems like people were a lot of, like I've said, you had regular Canadians who came out en masse, but then at the center of this thing, you had other groups, and each group sort of had its own political agenda or its own objective for other reasons beyond the mandates. And that's why your book is so important, because it sort of touches on that aspect of it, right? Like what was really going on at the heart of this whole thing, and who was to blame for the problems, and who should be credited for, the positive things that came out of it as well. And we only know that if we have an accurate account. So that's what this is about. How inaccurate do you think the public perception is right now?
Well, I've been trying to correct it for 3 years, but I get called jealous. I get called a whole sorts of names. And then it's like, well, what does it matter? Well, honestly, to the people that just attacked me about me saying that I had started it,
Mhm.
it mattered to you 5 minutes ago when you thought it was Tamara Leach. I mean, so, but now that you find out it's not Tamara Leach, you're like, oh, well, what does it matter? History needs to be factual. We
Yeah.
need to know the facts. Otherwise, what is history? Just a story. You know, it's no better than a fable. So, do we want accurate history or fables?
And there was a lot of money flying around. And
Yeah,
yeah. And it's hard for people to follow that. I'm still not
that's
even sure.
okay.
I'm still not even sure where the money really is, or how that has been handled and is being handled. Can you shed any light on where we're at with all of that and what impact the money had on the whole thing?
Oh, the money is huge. I think that was probably to my demise, actually, by allowing Tamara Leach to do that. Um, she was at my service. Um, she was supposed to be working as a volunteer on my behalf. And that's the message I got from her. Um, so when she wanted to start the fundraiser, you know, I suggested maybe we do it for each individual trucker. I think if we would have done that and raised the money with little push buttons, like push this button and it'll go to that guy's fundraiser on our Facebook, um, it would have, none of us would have been in trouble. You can't go after if there's not a big pot, right? Um, but that was shot down because it was a lot of work. Then there were teams and people I didn't know, and why are they involved and who are they? And so a lot of convoy for me while we were in Ottawa was trying to figure out who's who in the zoo and why are they were there. That was,
Yeah,
let me tell you, I'm still working on some of that 3 years later, but
exactly. Yeah.
you know, and some people are ghosts. It's like, you're a ghost. I can't find anything about you. But everything I have been researching, um, and with names leads back to CPC supporters, CPC donors. Um, I don't know. I can speculate all day long about
Mhm.
what that means. And then, of course, we had a CBC leadership hopeful. So, what does that mean? You decide. How about I just let you decide?
Yeah, well, the breadcrumbs are in the book, and that will lead you, to some of that truth. And you're quite right. It keeps coming back to Conservative Party of Canada connections. And I don't think people even remember that the some people were like, you were there to try to overthrow the government. And no, yes, no,
It depends on what
depends on who
group you
you
were
were.
with.
That
What
depends on the
what
group.
splinter group, according to Keith Wilson, there were splinter groups. So he was actually a
Yeah.
splinter group,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
He was the splinter group.
Yeah.
And those he supported were the splinter group. They were not the originals. They were not, you know, so they're actually the splinter group that he
Yeah.
was talking about.
And see, what people
Um,
I think have lost
so
sight
you,
of is
you
that,
have to wonder.
yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Did you want to finish something there?
That's okay.
Okay. I was just going to
Well,
say,
and I mean, if
that,
you look at his,
yeah, I'm talking over you
if you
again.
look at him now,
Uh,
if you look at him now, what's he doing? He's trying to break up Canada.
mhm.
So who's the
Yep.
splinter group?
Yeah. It's pretty splintering there. Yeah. It's, the effect is very splintering. Then I was going to say, and that's what you got within the Conservative Party during the convoy was splintering because you had Aaron O'Toole, who was the leader at the time, but because of the convoy, he ended up losing his position as the leader of the party. That paved the way for a leadership convention. And who came in as the new leader? Pierre Poilievre. And who backs up Pierre Poilievre? Ezra Levant, his old buddy. And you start to connect all the dots, and you see these people falling into line, and you see what's happened since then to the country and the separatist movement. And I mean, I've drawn many conclusions from that myself after gathering all this information. So yeah. As much as we're laying blame at the feet of Justin Trudeau for the way people were treated during the pandemic, there's still blame. There's concern. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah,
About
and
what
I'm
was
not
going
sure
on
I
with
ever,
CPC.
I'm not sure I ever told you, Rick. Do you know that the headquarters of the Conservative Party had called me before we left?
No, you didn't tell me
Oh,
that.
yeah. Oh, yeah. I got 2 calls that day. And actually, I think I have a TikTok on it because I was like, whoa, they're calling me, little old me. I'm a nobody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I had 2 guys from the headquarters of the federal Conservative Party call me. And I do like this because, they asked me about Aaron O'Toole, and I said, well, he's kind of a tool. And he's forgotten that he's kind of a conservative. So
Yeah.
let me know. Do you want me to bring him a blue jacket? Because he's got red suede shoes on, right? Like, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was kind of funny. And then I got another call. Now I could swear it was. So, Peter, if it's not you, I'm sorry. But I believe the guy was from Peter MacKay's office. But I'm like, he's not even in office. So
Mhm.
why are you calling me? But I'm pretty sure he said it was Peter MacKay's office. Now I got a lot of strange calls. So it may not have been Peter MacKay's office at all. But the only reason I remembered it is because Peter MacKay is the one that cried when Belinda Stronach crossed the floor and started dating Domi, who I really liked, as a hockey player. And then to watch Peter cry, I'm like, well, I kind of understand why Belinda walked across the floor, but I mean, that's a whole nother story. That's just my personal thing on that. But I mean, they called too, and they asked me, what they could do for me. And I said, give me my freedoms back. And they said, anything else? And I'm like, no, that's pretty much it. And he says, is there anyone else I can call? And I'm like, no, I'm it. And he was like, okay, thanks. And he hung up. I mean, it was pretty short. It was a pretty short conversation. And you know how when you talk to somebody on the phone and you have
Mhm.
never met them, and just from their voice, you get a perception of what this person looks like.
Mhm.
So maybe Peter MacKay can clear this up. Does the guy that called me, is he about 400 pounds and like his neckties too tight? And he's wearing a shirt with armpit sweat underneath, because that's what I pictured.
Well, and I see from your book and from so much other information that I have also come into contact with since the convoy. I see direct ties back to the UCP, to the Western Canada Conservative, uh, party supporters. To me, it looks like a UCP takeover of the federal party, and that's why you're getting the kind of thing that you're getting now with the separate,
Well,
all this stuff. But,
what about General Vallely?
oh well, yes, there's him too.
I mean, like, I was like, what?
Yeah,
U.S. generals, right?
Major General Paul Vallely. Yeah, yeah,
What? I
yeah.
mean, I know I talked to some U.S. Marines, and by the way, they're in the book.
Mhm.
And a Navy SEAL, they're in the book,
Yeah.
but they're friends of mine. They're not political activists. Just so you know, I know where all these people live. Like,
Yeah, I don't. Your
well,
people
except
don't
for the
seem
Navy
like the
SEAL.
ones who want to invade us. But some of
No,
these other
no.
names, yeah, I'm a little worried. Uh, yeah.
I think some of the popular people, if you want to say that.
Mhm.
Like James Bowder. I mean, they should just take out a hammer and nail their own coffin with some of the things they're saying. I'm like, dude,
Yeah.
be quiet.
Yes. And I haven't heard,
But
yeah. So, James Bowder also, I think he even claims to have started the convoy, which he didn't. And
well, who knows what he started, but he wasn't, I didn't know him until the 10th. So that's like 8 days
right,
after I had people saying, let's do this.
right.
So that's 8 days later.
Because he
Sorry,
had his
Johnny,
own
come
thing.
lately.
Yeah, he had his own thing going, but
Yeah.
then he changed his dates to
To match mine.
match yours. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And I mean, I can't confirm with any other trucking organization that they got a message from James. I have tried to confirm that they got a message from James. Now, I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm saying I cannot confirm. The only one I can confirm with was the organization I was related with on my Facebook.
Mhm.
So
And how did that?
they
How did
don't know.
how did that happen? I mean, the originals, as you refer to them, you guys
Right.
started to converse. Like, how did that gel and come together? You came up with this idea for the convoy, and then how did all these other people get connected with you? It's detailed to some degree in the book, but maybe you can share some of that with us today.
Right. So everybody knows, well, okay, maybe not everybody. I assume everybody knows. That was what Rick helped me with and what Alex helped me with, is because I assume you all know this information, but it's up here in my head. So but on November 16th, I was once again attacked by CBSA. And that's when I found that on a search button on TikTok that you can find other people with other like-minded ideas and other truckers. I had no idea that button existed. I had just got kicked off 55 days from Facebook because I told somebody not to eat crayons. I was trying to be nice. And and what was the one before it? I don't even remember that one, but the crayon thing, really, I remember that one. So, but
Mhm.
I was like, it's fine. I just told him don't eat crayons. I mean, they're not really made with lead anymore, as long as you don't buy them from China. Well, okay. Now I'm going to get myself in trouble. I don't know if China has lead in their crayons anymore. So, but it's, yeah, you guys are getting the funny side of me tonight because I am just on cloud nine for the last 3 days. So anyways, I started sending out messages, Convoy 2020, Convoy 2022, Convoy, Convoy to end mandates. I was aggressively targeting people that were saying the same things as I am, that were saying that this was unfair, that segregation and discrimination against a certain part of a population was not justified. So those are the people that I had targeted. And Chris Barber and I chatted back and forth a bit. There was nothing serious until I met Maria, and she's in the book, but I'm not going to ruin it for you who she is. She's one of the first people to say yes. And then there was a lovely lady, and she wasn't a trucker. Okay, she wasn't. And then there was a lovely lady out in Calgary, and she took the bull by the horns, and she started making the plans for her routes. She did a fantastic job. Thank you, sweetheart. I love you. And your name does show up in the book, just first name. Okay. So these women were there with me. They were willing to go. And that was, the same day. It was January 2nd. And then I heard from Chris Barber. He goes, "Well, that'd be nice. Maybe we can all get together." Yeah, okay, I'm in. So, you know what? There were two other people that didn't question as long as Chris did. So he's not number two. And so he's got to take a back seat to about 4 other women. Sorry, dude. Should have hit the yes button faster.
Yeah.
Well, and I guess we need 5 because he really does take a back seat to Tamara. I'm sure that hurts his ego just a little.
Yeah. And I mean, the Freedom Convoy, I mean, it did come after these. There was like the United We Roll convoy, which was all about oil prior to it. And I know that that's what James Bowder was sort of focused on, was recreating that. But his objective, his focus wasn't just the mandates. It never really was. It was, other political objectives. He had his own agenda heading into
Yes,
this thing,
he did. Am I at fault here? Probably. Okay. I will take the blame for all of you. I didn't do my research on who these people were, but I had 150 of you calling me every hour. What time did I have to research who these people were?
Mhm.
I took them as genuine Canadians with genuine hearts,
Yeah.
with genuine understanding that there were people in our population who were being segregated and discriminated against, that we were closing borders
Mhm.
between provinces where dads, if they lived in another province, couldn't spend time with their children. We were literally attacking children in playgrounds.
Yeah.
We were attacking people in their own homes for spending Christmas together. My concern about who James Bowder was a minority compared to the severity of the current situations at hand.
Yeah.
And I mean, did that get me in a whole lot of, trouble? Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
But I did it for the right reasons. I was there for the right reasons. I supported in the way of and followed the right reasons. And people say all the time, "Oh, you ran away from Ottawa." No, I am a cross-border trucker who cannot cross the border with a criminal record, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that means I had to protect my family. And if you don't understand that, I'm sorry. But I wasn't in for the pitchforks and that was not me. I was not there for that. If you wanted pitchforks, I'm sorry. That was not what it was about.
Yeah.
That's the same thing I told Tamara when she said we were going to buy a building with truckers' money. It was the building beside the Swiss. We were in the car. She mentioned it. And I said, for what purpose? And she specifically said to continue protesting. And I was like, what? When the mandates are done, so are
We're
we.
going home.
We're going home.
Yeah.
So let's just get that meeting. And to hear people say that we never wanted a meeting, no, we absolutely did.
Yeah.
We wanted a meeting.
You wanted a meeting.
I had said, well, you know what? And honestly, Justin Trudeau, if you hear this, cool. You could have just called me and bypassed all those people. We would have had a great conversation. I would have been respectful. And we would have ended that protest without Marco Mancini suggesting a tank. Just saying.
Yeah. Even Anand during the Public Order Emergencies Commission hearing, when she was asked about the references to the tanks and to the bringing in a tank and the memos or whatever, I thought she just her jaw dropped. Even she was like, "No, we didn't want to do that," But
no,
some people
we
did.
just needed
I guess, 'cause they're
one.
talking about it. No, we don't.
Now
no.
Right
Oh,
now,
God.
and then we go to the POEC and Doug Ford. How dirty is Doug Ford? Like, we really got to wonder, because when it came to the POEC, he said, it's a matter of national security that I cannot attend the POEC. And I'm like, who are you? You're the premier. You're not the prime minister. If Justin Trudeau can go up there and lie, I'm sure you could. I mean,
yeah.
yeah, my favorite thing from Justin Trudeau, I did not call people names.
Right. Yeah.
Did you see the clip that I included, Justin?
Oh my God. It's
I
just
included
everywhere.
it.
Yeah.
In my testimony. I included it. Did you even like
Oh,
reference any of the material that's been said about you? I included it.
well, we're laughing about it now, but I was not laughing back then. It was very dark what was going on, man.
It was. I mean, you know, if you think about it, the night of the 16th into the 17th, that was the day I was planning my goodbye.
mhm.
You know, that's still really hard to talk about. And I still haven't picked up my funeral package from the local funeral home here because it's kind of got a different meaning than just, you know, end of life planning for me.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I was planning to say goodbye that night to my husband, and that be it. I couldn't do the new normal. Um, but I guess I should thank my ex-husband as well because I didn't want him to get any of the stuff I had. And since we would just got married, not a few months before, I hadn't changed everything over to him being my beneficiary. So I was like,
Mhm.
well, I can do that online. Oh, no, you can't. You got to go in and make an appointment. Well, shit. Like, so much that you had to do. And I thought about it then and I'm like, well, I can't give that to my ex-husband, so I got to take care of that first. Um, so lucky I hadn't taken care of all those little details, right?
Yes, or we wouldn't be
Um,
having this conversation.
right. And I
Yeah.
mean, you know, people have said to me, just get over it. Well, October 2025, I got sent into secondary. And the minute the guard had said I was in secondary, I had to go, I started shaking. I started crying. My eyes started twitching. My knee was bouncing. So that's a physical reaction to trauma. It's not done for me. And I don't know when it will be. I was traumatized and I was dismissed for it.
Yeah.
And I don't know when that will end for me. And I hope it does. I hope I can go back to just trucking like normal 70 hours a week and, you know, working on my book every now and then. So it might take a little while for book two. Excuse me, just saying. And, you know, I mean, yeah, I hope it goes back to normal and I can get past it.
Isn't that
But
weird?
it's,
Like even all after all this time, I hope it goes back to normal. Nothing seems normal. It hasn't been normal since all of that went down during the pandemic. It's still not normal. Everything's
I'm
whacked.
watching people beat each other up over a car. I'm watching, there's so much anger.
Yeah.
Canada is angry. Um, And I'm seeing people react to simple things that we used to just dismiss. We'd bump somebody, we'd say sorry. Now it's like, what's your problem? You know, I
Mhm.
mean, it's it's
Yep.
sad. We
Yeah.
need Canada back and we need to start remembering that we might be having a bad day, but
Mhm.
maybe they're having a worse day.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
maybe maybe that guy just came from the hospital and said goodbye to his mom, you know, or she just came back and said goodbye to her dad, right?
Yeah.
We don't know what anybody else's day is like. So we need to be kind of mindful that we might be having a bad day, but somebody else might be having a worse day.
Yeah. So where are we at right now, Bridget, with all of this stuff? Because it seems like we're still not back to normal. We still have all this animosity, division within whatever the so-called freedom movement has broken up into whatever it is, as dysfunctional as it has always been. People talk about the movement, but I see a lot of, infighting constantly. I'm not sure what the hell it is. Uh, like, and then there's all the money, it's all out there. And it seems like people are running around chasing that. You've got the country maybe on the verge of breaking apart. I don't think it's going to happen, but with the guy in the White House. Who the hell knows? And
I thought we weren't talking
Oh,
Trump tonight.
you said the name. Oh. Oh well. we were on a roll there for a while, but we just couldn't help it.
But there's a part in the book that I write about, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, when I was actually doing, the final thing, I'm like, hey, wait a minute. The guy in the White House is doing what I just said in the book wasn't going to happen in my lifetime. Great. Thanks, Trump, for making me look like a liar. It's all his fault.
Well, you got married during this time too, and you talk about being,
Did.
down in the States, and saying that, where you went for your wedding, it was more normal. So that also gives
Absolutely.
people a perspective, because with all your traveling, you kind of saw everything that was going on in all these different areas, right?
Right. And the US was way back to normal way before.
Yeah.
Like way before. And I wonder if people have actually, like, if you're still on my TikTok or you go look at it, go look. I post pictures of McDonald's, a video. I'm like, look, there's no masks. There's none. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So why did they want to stop truckers? Why were we the last ones for them to attack? Why? Was it because we could bring back information from other places?
I don't know.
Because we travel everywhere, right? So it's definitely a weird time in history. I don't ever want to go back. Never.
Yeah, me either. That's why I sit in the chair here every night, largely is because of exactly that. I want my country back, kind of to the sort of almost normal that we used to have, I guess.
Right.
I just want Canada back. But what we have right now is just so weird and dysfunctional and angry.
Yes, angry. And I'm so tired of the slogans on either side.
Mm-hmm,
Elbows up.
mm-hmm,
You know what? You sound like kindergarten kids, okay? Being told to, like smell your armpits so
mm-hmm.
that at least know to put deodorant on.
Yeah,
You know,
marketing. Yeah.
that's what that looks like, and then you've got the other side going, yes, we're fighting for this and that. And then it's like, yeah, but we voted against the bill for, housing. How can you be fighting for that then?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's just so much on either side. I'm so over politics. I'm over it. I yell about it a lot, but I'm still over it. I think before Convoy, I was never really political anyway. Like before 2015, I guess, when Trudeau got in, I became far more political than I ever wanted to be. And I was never political. I didn't agree with protests. I was like, you guys are all silly gluing yourself to a piece of cement. Like, that's going to hurt when they take your arm off of there, right? Like, I don't know if it were me and the fire department. I'd just say, hey, grab the axe. We'll just cut off the arm at the wrist and they'll be good. Like, just leave it there. Right. So I always thought that was kind of, and we deal with it in trucking. When we go to like a food processing plant, we have people out there trying to feed cows and cattle, give them water, right? In our area, there was actually a woman run over that was protesting cattle, and she was giving them water or whatever was in the bottle, and she got run over by the trailer. I felt for that truck driver. I was like, no way, man. Like, that's not his fault. She stepped in the line of the trailer. That's her fault. Right.
Mm-hmm.
During the BLM riots and protests, the protesters were on the road. I'm sorry. Truck has right away. It's 80,000 pounds. You're 130 soaking wet. Give right away. It's kind of like just common sense. Right. So I never really understood protesting until it was literally do or die. And that's when I think we should protest. You see all these protests, save this, do that, plant a tree, yada, yada, yada. But it affects what, 1% of the population, that really care about that idea. You're not going to get a freedom convoy out of that. You're just not. We were, our population base for Freedom Convoy was greater than the LGBTQ movement. It was greater than the BLM movement in Canada.
Mhm.
Our numbers were greater. We had a larger voice. Had we used it more effectively and actually met with leadership, we would have made positive change, more positive change, than we were able to accomplish because some people didn't want to meet with the prime minister
Because they
or his
didn't really
staff.
want a solution.
One could suspect.
Just a theory.
I'm not in their head. You're gonna get me. I swear to God, Rick.
Just my theory.
I digress. I've learned that one from Diverge Media. I digress.
Within the freedom movement thingy, whatever it is, did we see
the dysfunctional family?
yes, but the continuing perpetual effort to try to reconstitute the convoy, to relive it, to recreate it. I'm not sure why. It depends on the issue of the month or whatever.
I just like to ask all those people that are trying to redo a convoy, do you like $460 million lawsuits with no support? Do you like possible jail time? I'm sorry, I'm kind of cute, but not in orange. Like, and my husband thinks I'm cute, so if you don't, that's too bad. I'm being real sassy tonight, and I tell you, all I drank was Coke. But I'm just like, I don't understand it. But that's me. I don't understand it. If it was, the digital ID thing, hey, you got me. I am there. I do not want digital ID. It was like I was in a grocery store the other day and I needed something from my phone to show them. I don't know where it was. I thought it was a grocery store. Maybe it's not. But anyways, I needed something on my phone and I'm like, great, I got 3%. You better hurry. I'm thinking, digital ID, digital money. What am I going to do? My battery's always at 3%. Like, it's like when I get stopped for speeding, do I have no identity? Could I just make up somebody? I don't know. Like how does that work? Does that mean I don't have a valid driver's license at the time they're requesting? I don't know. For me, I'd be messed for sure. Because I'm not glued to the hip to my phone.
So I don't see another convoy happening like that one again, unless because I don't think we have an issue facing the country at the moment that would bring people together to protest in that way, in those kinds of numbers organically. Not that it was entirely organic what happened, but the majority of Canadians that showed up, just yes. But you know what I'm saying? It's like many things can be true at the same time. But
I have stolen that from you, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Every time somebody says something and I disagree with it, I'm like, well, two things can be true at the same time.
That's true. And so that being said, I mean, Tamara, Chris Barber, but I'll focus on her because
I wished her a Merry Christmas.
Oh, did you? Oh, that's good. Yeah,
I did.
Well,
I wished her a Merry Christmas on her Substack.
Yeah.
And I said, now it's time for the truth to come out. My book was released and I waited until after your charges were done with. That's my present to you. Merry Christmas. I thought that was very thoughtful that I held my book a little bit, kind of procrastinated a little until their charges were done with. Now, the fact that they want to go back to court and, argue about them, that's not on me. I'm sorry. I waited long enough. So now, and I wished her a Merry Christmas. So And maybe that's a little sassy, but I don't know.
And
I
if,
did honestly mean it.
and if you want to get into more of the nitty gritty and all that stuff, you have to buy the book.
You do. Available on Amazon, Indigo, and Kindle.
Yeah.
And
Or-
you can request it from any one of your bookstores near you.
Yeah, and then we'll go to the website on the screen there and
That's right.
inside-fc.com, and you can check it out there. But
Do
what's
they
not
know what that means?
does what mean? The
So inside-fc.com.
Freedom Convoy.
Inside the Freedom Convoy.
And you were on the inside through the entire thing. You were.
Was
Yeah, you were there for it all. So
watching, observing, taking notes, peering through the glass. No, not really. But it sounds pretty cool.
it is a firsthand. It is truly a firsthand account from inside, because you were right there seeing it all unfold in real time in the back rooms, out on the street. I mean, you had contact at every level, from the people handing out the meals to the people on the street who were playing street hockey to the
And actually, that was started by the guy that helped me get my sweaters for everybody. I have a picture of us. I don't know where it is, but I have a picture of us. He helped me get those done. So thank you. I know you're probably watching from Sudbury. He was Game On. He was part of that because he wanted kids to play. So yeah, we had some great contacts. I still have some great contacts. I still have people that don't hate me because I don't like the superstars, but it's okay. You know, I go out to dinner with my husband and I don't have somebody going, "Can I have your autograph?" And I'd be like looking at him going, "Why do you want my autograph?" Like, I just don't get that, but okay. You know, I don't understand it. We're just people. We all put our pants on one leg at a time.
And that brings me back again to Tamara, because what is not in the book is what happened over the past week and a half, I think, where Rebel News has now hired her. And I thought, well, that's very creative, to be sure. But I honestly never saw that coming. I've never worked for a media outlet that, when I was at CTV, I've worked in radio, I've done some print. I've been around the block a couple of times. At no time have I ever had a managing editor, a news director, the owner of, a media outlet that I've worked for say, you know what, we're going to hire the newsmaker, the person who was at the center of this political storm, and we're going to hire this person and put her on the payroll so that they can do an end run around their court sentence of house arrest so they can work and travel the country to have political rallies, essentially.
I don't know if it's just the country. She could end up in Davos. They go to Davos.
There you go.
You know what I mean? As soon as I heard that, I went, "Oh, she's going to Davos."
So I'm thinking, wow, like, okay, if I get arrested and I want Ezra to be my lawyer.
Yeah.
From Rebel News,
but don't get him to fill out the forms for you to enter Canada. Otherwise, you end up like Tommy Robinson. I'm just,
the track record is spotty, but this was quite creative. I never saw that coming. What do you think of that? Tamara Lich being hired by Rebel News to get out of her court sentence.
Okay, I might have been sassy when I first read about it too, because I was like, "Oh my gosh." Then they compared her to Charlie Kirk. And I said, and I quote, I said, "I hope her outcome is better than Charlie's." Just saying. Because, I mean, why would you refer to her as a man that got shot for his opinion? And, well, we need to hire guards. Well, Charlie Kirk had guards and he was still shot.
Yeah.
I know some people don't agree that he was shot. Look, I'm not into the conspiracy theory. The guy I haven't heard from, so maybe he is shot, maybe he's not. It's really none of my business. But, I am happy that he couldn't see what people did to his name afterwards. So because I mean, I really didn't know very much about Charlie Kirk. I knew of him by sight, but I didn't really know Charlie Kirk, the man, you know what I mean?
Yep.
But I did like some of his content. I didn't like other parts of his content. But still, he wasn't the be all and end all. He wasn't God. He wasn't our justice. He wasn't, you know, he
Mhm.
was a man with an opinion that he was trying to have people object to, right? Or object to their opinion. He was a thinking project, to get people to think. Okay, great.
Mm.
But to see Tamara go out and do that, I'm like, what is she going to talk about? Is she going to talk about oil and gas? Is
Probably.
she going to
I think so. Maybe just a little bit.
maybe, about how
Mm,
Russian oil is taking over Canada,
mm,
Canada oil, which, if you read that in her book and the percentages and you go look at how much Russian oil we're bringing in, the two might not work together. They might not. There may be
mhm,
a difference there. Just
mhm,
saying.
mhm, mhm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, I don't know what she's going to talk about, feminine rights. I mean, yeah, push the man down that actually helped, lift off the convoy so that he's known as the co-defendant.
Mm.
Is that women's rights? I don't know. I don't know what she's going to talk about. But, if she decides to talk about convoy, maybe I should just go to the colleges and hand out like questionnaires that they can ask her about, maybe. I think
Maybe.
you can hire people to do that kind of thing. I don't know. I don't need to mess with Tamara Leach. I'm having my own successes right now, so
Yeah.
that's really great. But if she's not honest, I'll be there to make her accountable. And
Yeah.
I think that's my job, is to make sure everybody's accountable.
Well, you.
I asked
Yeah.
for transparency and accountability from the beginning.
Yeah. That's what we were doing here too. Actually, we said when we were live streaming from the convoy, it was like we're just going to show all the streaming we can, and it doesn't matter if the government gets out of line, police, the protesters, whatever. If somebody does something good, we show that. If somebody does something bad, we'll show that. We're not going to, we're just going to be as truthful as we can through the whole thing. That's been the objective here. Uh, People have been taking sides though, and joining a tribe,
A little.
just a touch.
Yeah.
Eh? Yeah.
A cult, maybe. I don't know. But, I like the fact that, Rick, I can talk to you. You present something, and I say, no,
Mm,
I don't know where that came from. I don't like that you've included me in that, because that's not, I don't know where that came from. And, you went, well, okay, but this is what this person said. I'm like, it's impossible, right?
mhm,
So I can present you my argument, and you'll go, well, okay, let's see where this shakes out. So you don't dismiss it, you actually look into it.
mhm.
Whereas all the other podcasters, are like, oh, they're the heroes. They're the ones that did everything. And then when you present a different argument, they're like, you're being divisive.
Right.
And it's like, how is that? You know?
Yeah.
So
Well, it's but you're still up against, and I hate to put it in that way, it shouldn't be that you're up against, the rebel news media machine and the whole network of live streamers and podcasters out there who carry the narrative forward and keep repeating that message because they're part of the machine to engage in that frequency or repetition of messaging to make people believe what they want them to believe. That's what's going on out there. But you are kind of up against that because there's still this whole Tamara Litch, Chris Barber, they're the heroes of the convoy. That's where all the money is, by the way, with the JCCF, with them, with the, the fund that was, attached to Tamara. That's all over there. And then there's you, right? Um, and
yes, I could yell at my father if he was still alive for teaching me morals and
mm,
ethics, because I could say, like, if I was willing to throw that all away, Dad, I could have had what Tamara Leach had, right?
mm,
I could have taken the envelopes that were offered to me with money in them and said, okay, now I'll do whatever you say. But I
Mhm.
wasn't raised that way. And I think, the convoy and what you read in the book will also show you that I just don't go with the grain because that's what's being presented.
Yeah.
Um, and I don't go against the grain just because I figure it out. I bring the information I can find, I do the research, and then I come to a conclusion. So I am not anybody's puppet. And I think that causes my lawyer a lot of grief, actually. And I'm sorry, Jim, I love you. Um, and he's been very good to me. But I'm sure that causes him a lot of grief. He's like, oh my gosh, she's talking again. Just make her quiet. But
Yeah.
I'm sure he had hair before he met me, I think. Um, but yeah, I mean, like you've got Keith Wilson, who's I don't know. He says jump and they say how high. Like it's just, no, that's not me.
Yeah, when you say they're taking envelopes of money and they have to do what they say, like it's true because just to take the legal assistance from the Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms, they have to agree to do certain things. If she's working for Rebel News, she has to do certain things for Rebel News. And Rebel News is not an unbiased, neutral, real journalistic endeavor. It's activism journalism. It's provocateur journalism. It's not the kind of journalism that they seem to want to hold CBC, CTV, all the other media outlets to that kind of traditional standard. They're not that, not even close. Quite the opposite. And that's what
I
Tamara Litch is getting involved with. They are literally buying the Freedom Convoy story by buying her. Right? That's what they do. They're capturing stories by buying the story and buying the newsmakers.
but how do they buy it when she don't own it? So they're buying a lie
Right.
and they're presenting more of a lie. Now look, I love Dave Menzies. He gets himself in a lot of trouble. Sensationalism is not journalism,
Mm.
but I do love watching Dave Menzies. He is one of
Yeah.
my favorite, okay?
Mhm.
Because he's just like this old grandpa that's like out there trying to get the truth and then gets arrested for just like, why'd you arrest me? Because I
Mm.
touched you. Right. And
Mm.
it's like all I think about is my kids in the back seat going, almost touched you, right?
Exactly right.
And they would
Yeah.
like get so angry at each other. And I'm like, oh, Dave, don't do that. Don't go so close. Um, and I love him because he picked up my second convoy story. I don't know if you know about this, but after the first convoy, then the Christmas, I did a second convoy. Um, and that was to argue about AB5, HOS, just all the things truckers were dealing
Mhm.
with. And we sent those both to Canada and the US transportation ministers. So we heard that over 5,000 packages got sent to the White House. And we had David Menzies with a tanker presenting it to, our transportation minister at the time, who I can't remember his name. And what I do remember is not appropriate. So it's not appropriate. But you have Dave Menzies bringing the tanker, right? But it's only a toy. You know what I'm thinking?
Mhm.
You just push the envelope. But I love you for doing that. Thank you, Dave. Right? Like, so I do have a soft spot for Dave Menzies. Sheila Gunn Reid and I have been on the same program. She seems a little bit more professional and she doesn't get out there and get arrested. So way to go, Sheila. Um,
Has she ever been arrested? Come on, she
I
must.
don't know.
She
I
actually,
don't
she. I
know.
can't think of any time when I've seen her do that kind of thing. But
No,
uh,
and she seems like a more serious journalist. Like she seems
uh,
like she may have a solid journalistic background, but she may also
uh,
have learned to twist stuff.
yeah. Well, she
I'm not a
She
journalist.
pretended to not know who I am the other day in a post, but that's another
Not
thing.
know who Rick Walker is. Even
Well,
the
she knows
left knows
now.
who Rick Walker is. The right knows who Rick Walker is. Everybody knows who Rick Walker is. Come
Yeah, I
on,
don't think
Sheila.
so. Oh, yeah. Well, there's an advantage in not having anybody know who the hell you are.
Yes, like I said, I could go to dinner with my husband and I don't have to sign autographs.
Yeah. That's changing very rapidly because your book is doing really well.
Holy
yeah,
cow.
yeah.
48 hours. I am shocked. Canada and the US, you have you've bought the book. You're buying the book. We are in 48 hours. We made top new release. I don't know how many copies that is, but wow, thank you. Because I don't get to see the numbers for like at least 30 days. I'm like,
Mhm.
I'm in the back going, so what is that? What is that? Is that 5 books? Is that 10 books? How many books is that? Right? And I'm like, how many people bought? So I just like, I don't know. But you brought this book, all of you, because it's not me, I just wrote it. All of you brought this to top new release in the US. So congratulations to all of you that bought it. And in Canada, we are number 10 on the Canadian history. Oops, somebody else dropped it. Yeah, 10 in Canadian history. We are doing better than other Convoy books. We are, I think, at the 35th spot in some of the other history categories, where others at the 45 spot. You guys did this. This is you. We will celebrate you guys because you bought the book. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So we've covered, a fair amount of ground here tonight, but is there anything that you think we should focus on? Do you want people to know anything? What do you want to talk about here to kind of,
I want your book review.
my book review?
What was your favorite part of the book?
I guess, it was, for me, it was relating to the stories that you told about, on the road, the things that you went through, because I could relate to all of that, whether it was, helping that trucker who got stuck in the ice, right? Couldn't move his rig. Or
Yeah.
going into restaurants and not having access to a washroom. It was those kinds of things. And those really, really upset me. All of the lockdown stuff, that's what really, I have to admit, like it got me very emotional during that time period. So it brought a lot of that back for me personally. And I have to say that I was so upset. There's no question I wasn't really even thinking straight at the time, because your mind races to conspiracy theories, like they want to kill me, and things of that nature. But
Well, that's how I felt at the border, right?
yeah, exactly.
When I got brought in for the 3rd time, and they told me they were going to take my truck, take my trailer, take my dog, and take me away. That's exactly where I was.
Yeah.
I was like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
Like, am I never going to be seen again?
Yeah.
Am I able to call my husband? And I reached out, oddly enough, I reached out that night. JCCF, reached out to Rebel News, reached out to Druthers, and it was like, help. The word was help in the subject lines, and no one returned those.
Yeah.
Not Rebel News, not Druthers, not the MPs or MPPs. Nobody answered that.
Yeah.
Why? And then now they want to own the Convoy story.
Right.
But when the scream, when the cry, when the person that was actually thinking they were going to be euthanized with their dog called you for help, where were you? Where were you? You weren't there. But as soon as that same woman gets a group together and our voices get louder, you're all in there.
Yeah. It's all of that stuff, Bridget, that really resonated with me, and just talking about trying to buy a snowblower, right? And how the
Yeah, you like
stupidity that
that
you're running
story.
in at the store. We can't sell you that snowblower because you might get COVID from it. Crap like that. And I remember all of that too. And I'm like, yeah, that's exactly what was going on. It was, and it's so good that you put it in the book because people need to remember that stuff. Future generations need to remember or at least learn from this in the future, because that's what will hopefully prevent it from ever happening again. But I'm not sure we've even learned the lesson now. What do you think?
I don't think so. Some people still think they're justified for the way they treated the unvaccinated. And
Yeah.
I I don't know how you sit there and justify destroying people financially,
Yeah.
destroying people emotionally, and justify it to save one life when those were people who were taking their lives. So, how do you justify that? Oh, we pushed them so hard that they committed suicide. That's okay. But we can't lose somebody to COVID. It is a twisted game of thought, reality. I mean, who does that? Who thinks that's okay? It's not okay. It's not okay. It's not okay for me to tell somebody, hey, look, you're sick. You know what? That's going to cost the Canadian taxpayers $50,000 for your cancer treatment. You know what? We're just going to end your life. Would that be okay? No, that wouldn't be okay. A child that needs a lung transplant. Well, we have people that are doctors and lawyers that need it, so we're not going to give it to a young life. We're choosing who lives and dies. That is not justice. That's playing God. And we need to stop.
Mm.
Right?
Yes. Yeah. So the book really, as you say, is part of a series. So there is more series. So there is more to come. And this
There
book really
is.
does. But this book sets it all up and gives you a real good look inside the mechanisms, the mechanics of how this whole thing came together. It starts to lay out, I think, a blueprint for people so you can really start to pull that curtain back and get a good look at the Wizard of Oz, so you can kind of start to figure out really what went, why so much went so right with the convoy, but also what was also going on the negative side within, and why you're seeing all of the negativity still bubbling to the surface today, and the friction and the problems and the infighting, and it gives you a good glimpse into all of that, and there's more to come. Bridget, why don't you
The
kind
why
of,
is
yeah,
in there. What you just
yeah,
talked about, the why is in there. Why those things are happening,
yeah,
it's in there. Now, I might not be so direct as to say, this is why everybody hates Brigitte Belton.
mhm,
Right? But I'm planting the seeds for you. I am showing you why these things are happening, why they happened in the first place, and not just to me, but to BJ and to Chris Guerra and to, Chad Eros and to Pat King. And, there's many more that these people have attacked virally online.
yeah.
And they have a group. I mean, Peaceman has been very vocal at the group that they created.
Fight Club.
That's a gang.
Yeah.
That's not a group of people. That's a gang.
Mm,
When you go and you start picking on people to protect a narrative, that is a gang. That is
mm,
not just a group of friends, right? And so, I mean, Peaceman has put that out there and people don't believe him. But this book sets the stage for everything we're going to learn next. And it's so important because I wanted to put the whole book out, right? Now, granted, not all of it's ready, um, but I have legal issues too. So, I mean,
mm,
book two, it's already over 200 pages. It's going to be massive compared to this book. This book is the one you take when you're going, in the car ride for an hour, and you can put it down and pick it up. It's not hard. There's short chapters. It's not very big. And I say short, and I hate to read. So if you say they're too long, I'm sorry. I hate to read. So, and I've read every Convoy book, but this is simple. It's easy. It's written at a grade 7 level. And we made sure that it's available for those who cannot see. So those that have issues with sight, because I am discovering that myself in my 50s. And it's available. I believe it said Braille as well. If you scroll down, it says about the accessibilities, because I wanted it available for everyone. So it's there. So if you have somebody that's sight impaired, they should be able to hear it.
Okay.
Be read. It was one of my requirements, and I'm glad I did that.
That's
So,
awesome.
but yeah, so it's a good little story. It's going to tell you, it's going to take you some of the information none of you will know. And like I said to my girlfriend when she said, "How do you feel?" I said, "I feel naked. I literally feel naked to Canada and to the US and whoever, if the UK is buying it, I feel naked." And it's because it's my thoughts, my inner safety network that I've had to put away for about 3 years. I had to protect from some of those that were, targeting me online. So this is me. This is my insides, and I'm sharing them with you. So I hope you enjoy.
Just before, I have one other thing I'd like to cover. The title, Consequences. That word has layers to it in itself, because when I see that, I'm thinking, well, what are we really talking about here? Are we talking about the consequences that we've experienced? Are we talking about consequences to come for people who need to be held accountable? You know, there are consequences on a national scale. There are consequences for you. Are you looking to invoke consequences in the future? What
Maybe a little.
so that's I think that's a very it's a an apt title. What can you just give us some insight into what that title means?
So, and this title and the book cover was a fight with my publisher. Okay, just so everyone's aware. They did not like the dramatic front cover.
Mm,
Okay. And they wanted something softer.
mhm,
And I was like, I'm not Tamara Leach. I am not a postage stamp, right?
mhm.
I'm not a postage stamp. This is my cover. This is what I chose. This is what I want. And I love it. It's fiery. It's
It's like we are pissed
present.
off truckers and we are coming.
Right. And truckers aren't like really,
Yeah.
I mean, we're kind of honorary people.
Mhm.
We have to be, especially as women out there, because we get like guys saying, you need to be in the kitchen cooking for your husband. And it's like, get out of the cab. I show you exactly what that is. No, seriously, I've done that once. But it was a Somalian guy and he deserved what came. Anyways, but
Yeah.
it's just like the call of action, and there are the truckers. We're coming.
Yeah.
We're coming. So this is the call to action, right? And consequences, well, that was somebody's favorite word during COVID. Do we know
Oh,
whose favorite word it was?
Mr. Trudeau. Yeah.
So the
Yeah.
consequences of his and other political entities
Mhm.
created the Freedom Convoy.
Yeah. Policies that were meant to be inclusive ended up dividing and segregating and having exactly the opposite impact on society that he claimed that he advocated for.
Right. And mandates aren't laws.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can argue that now effectively. And anybody that reads the book will be able to argue that effectively afterward. So
Mhm.
read the book.
All right. And you can find out more about the book at inside-fc.com, which stands for Freedom Convoy, because Brigitte really does take you inside the Freedom Convoy, in the back rooms, out on the street, during the protest, after the protest, before the protest. It sets the whole thing up. It lays out all the dots, starts to connect them, and there is more to come in future books as well. But you got to get this one to understand the ones that are going to be coming afterward. And this one is revealing. It gets us all a lot closer to the truth, and you'll begin to understand more about what's really has really been going on, not just with the convoy, but with the country, and certainly within whatever this freedom movement thing is that has been gripping the country ever since the pandemic. So, Bridget, just one last time, where can you direct people to find your book?
You can buy it on Amazon, Indigo. Go into your local bookstore and ask them for it. They may have to order it, but they can get it for you because it's on Indigo and Kindle. Let's make it #1 in Canada and the US. So, and that's all on you. My part is done.
All right. And tonight I'm going to leave you guys with another song from the 2025 Maverick Christmas album, because I didn't get to share all the songs from it because we had so many on there. I am sending a note to anybody that donates to the channel. So thank you to those people who have done that during the holidays. And I know it's Boxing Day, so this is almost the last day that we can share all these Christmas songs without driving people crazy. It's like, stop with the Christmas music. Right? But
Christmas in July, Rick.
There you go.
Christmas in July.
Yeah, but this one's I think appropriate too, Bridget, because this is Rudolph the Rebel Reindeer saves Christmas. So I'm going to leave this with you tonight, folks. Bridget, stick around till after the broadcast. We'll chat for a couple of minutes afterward. And let me bring this up, guys. Rudolph the Rebel Reindeer saves Christmas. See you guys tomorrow. Thank you, Bridget, for sharing the background on your book with us tonight. And I'll catch you all back here tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern, on the flip side.
Well, now Rudolph had a red nose, shine like a light. Yeah, Rudolph had a red nose, burning up the night. Wouldn't wear that muzzle, wouldn't take that shot. Them high-class reindeer said, boy, you lost your spot. They laughed and called him outlaw, shut him out the game. Laughed and called him outlaw, wouldn't say his name. But Rudolph stood tall, said, I ain't playing y'all's game. That red nose kept glowing, burning just the same. Oh Lord, one foggy Christmas Eve, Santa come knocking at my door. Said, Rudolph, all my reindeer down sick, can you pull my sleigh once more? I said, Santa, I'll fly for the children, I'll fly for the free and the Flew straight through the darkness, broke them evil chains. Straight through the darkness, tearing off them
This has been a Maverick Multimedia production.